Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Susan here. Thank you for showing up to my channel. If you're new here, thank you for clicking on this video and going ahead to watch. If you're returning, thank you for coming back. I really appreciate you watching this video and returning to my channel. Today, I'm going to be talking about practical ways to deal with imposter syndrome in tech. Everybody knows that imposter syndrome is a thing, especially in tech. And for those that probably don't know what imposter syndrome is, it is basically feeling like you don't deserve what you have, feeling like you don't deserve to be in the position you are, feeling like people view you as a fraud or think that you're a fraud for being where you are, feeling like somebody could come any moment and probably drag you out of where you are because you don't deserve to be there. Okay, that's probably a bit dramatic, but you get the point. This is something that is super popular in tech. A lot of people, probably more than half of people in tech, deal with this on a daily basis. And so this is why I'm going to be talking about this, because this is definitely something I used to face a lot and I still currently face from time to time. So there is an author called Valerie Young, and she is the author of the book The Secret Thoughts of Successful Women. And she identified in her book like some different things that you can use to identify if you have the imposter syndrome or not. So we're going to be looking at a couple of them. The first one has to do with perfectionists. So the thing about perfectionists is that they are the kind of people that they will accomplish 99% of what they're doing, but because the 1% or the 1% flopped, they're going to beat themselves up about it. So they're not going to feel like they deserve what they have or they deserve to have even handled it in the first place. Perfectionists are people that basically want to be 100%. If it's not perfect, it is not it, basically. And this is a sign that you could have the imposter syndrome if you are dealing with perfectionism, that is. So the next group of people are the experts. So the experts are people that want to basically work really hard to improve themselves, and this is a good thing for developers, right? Because we know that our industry is fast-paced, is always changing, so we try to keep up to date. But the experts, what happens with them is that even though they're improving themselves daily, they do not take up challenges until they feel like they are 100% ready, which more often than not, that time never really comes, because they keep training themselves, improving themselves, training themselves, improving themselves, and they never really take up the position or take up the task. You find that a lot of people have this happening with them, maybe when they see a job role, right, and they decide, okay, let's look at the job role, and they see like the job requirements, right? And you notice that I don't have number 2 and number 3, but I have every other thing, right? And they're like, okay, I'm not going to apply until I have number 2 and number 3, right? So this happens a lot with people that are experts, right? And if you fall under any of these categories, please drop a comment below. I'd like to know who you are. Okay, not like I'm using it for anything, but let's just identify ourselves. It's good. Now the third set, which I believe a lot of us fall under, which I know that I personally fall under, is the natural genius. Now, people that fall under this category are people that are quick to learn stuff. So they're quick to pick up skills, they're quick to pick up like anything new, right? But when they find themselves in a situation where they don't easily grasp something, then they think they're imposters. They think, okay, they beat themselves up. They question their abilities and their capabilities, right? They question whether they're even supposed to be there, basically. So for example, for me, I think I did reasonably well in school, right? So it was quite hard for me to accept the fact that, coding didn't come as naturally as I would have thought. A lot of people, I feel like people that didn't even do anything engineering related in school were even learning faster than I was. So I'm like, what's actually going on here? Why am I not learning this thing on time, right? So a lot of people fall under this category and question, like, their abilities as well, right? And that's the natural genius. So the soloist is the next set of people, and typically for these guys, they like to work alone, and so they typically don't like to work in teams. And the reason for this is because they like to figure out things on their own. They don't want to be in a space where they probably, you know, are with somebody and maybe those people discover their weaknesses, so to speak, or, they just generally like to work alone. And those people actually question themselves when they find themselves in a place where, okay, maybe they're given a task to do and they're not able to do it alone. They need help, right? So when they find themselves in a space where they have to ask for help, then they feel like they're imposters. So the last set of people are the Supermen and the Superwomen. These are the people that feel like they can achieve anything, like they want to do everything. Like they do this today and tomorrow they're already like thinking of next thing to do. Like they don't feel like they should be at the bottom of their game in anything. So whether it's career, whether it's parenting, whether it's friendship, they feel like they should be able to handle everything all at once, right? And sometimes it's almost like they feel like they have to prove to people, and they have to prove something to people, and so they put themselves under a lot of pressure, right? It's just like something that they feel they have to do, right? So this could also be an attribute of the imposter syndrome. So, I mean, in tech, as we all know, tech is fast-paced, right? Everybody's releasing one tool, releasing one technology, dropping an update on a tool that you're using, right? And if you don't even quickly know about the updates, your code base can get bugs, right? Because you didn't update. So, a couple of things that apply specifically to people in tech that kind of shows the imposter syndrome are things like maybe taking up a lead role, taking up a management role, running away from things like that because obviously you don't feel up to it. Could be like coming from a non-CS background, right? And maybe you just feel like, I do not do computer science, I do not do engineering. How am I going to cope in this life with all these other tech people, right? Just feeling intimidated. It could also be comparing yourself to other people in the industry. So maybe people are out there like creating apps, building stuff, creating AI apps and everything, like flying high basically. You go and check people's GitHub contributions and you're seeing like everywhere is dark green and your own is still light green. I wonder, what am I really doing in my life, right? These are things that can cause imposter syndrome. And also trying to stay on top of tech trends. Like I said earlier, there are new things in tech every day. So if you're in a position where you're always trying to learn the next new thing, you are definitely going to get burned out and you're going to, question your abilities as well, especially if you're not keeping up to date as we would expect to. Okay, so let's talk about how to practically deal with these things. First of all, I just want to put your mind at rest now by telling you this. You might not believe it, but it's just the facts. And what I'm about to say, even though it might break your heart and it might make you have sleepless nights for the next 5 days, is that you cannot know everything. Do I need to repeat myself? Shade, Kayode, Emeka, Stephanie, you can't know everything. You literally can't know everything. So it makes sense if you try to identify the things that are instrumental to the work you do, or what you're trying to learn, or a project you're trying to build, right? Identify what those tools are, those technologies are, and try to learn them, right? Try to kind of learn those things and be at peace with the fact that you might not necessarily need to know other things for now. So prioritize is what I'm saying, right? Prioritize, figure out what you need to know for where you are at and focus on that. Don't be the person that you're trying to learn everything and you're not really using those tools. You're just learning them for learning's sake, right? It's good. There's nothing wrong with, generally learning stuff and just having an idea of what it's for. But if it's at the detriment of actually the work that you do or the projects you're trying to build, you're going to find out that you're getting burned out and you're getting distracted and you're not really going to get mastery of what you need at that point. So secondly, identify the signs. I've talked about the different ways, like Valerie indicated in her book, that imposter syndrome can show forth, like show up. It It could be you not accepting compliments for your work. It could be you downplaying your work. It could be you, diminishing your work, self-deprecating jokes about what you do, not giving enough value to your work. Yeah, there are just so many ways. It could be even feeling like everybody in the room is smarter than you and you're probably not supposed to be there. It could be you not wanting to pair with others, like pair program with others because you feel like you're going to get intimidated by them. There are just a lot of ways that, these signs show up. So once you spot that, the first thing to do is identify what those signs are for you, right? Once you identify them, you know where to go from there. So that's one way to practically deal with it. Next is know that you're not alone, right? Know that you're not alone. There are lots of people that deal with this. I've been in tech for 7+ years now. So I've worked with a lot of people that you would not even expect, right? Like there's so many smart people I've worked with, and when I talk to them and they tell me they have the imposter syndrome, I'm like, I don't get. Like they are saying we have imposter, you two are saying what's going on? What's really going on here? Right. So there are people that have it, people that are currently doing great work, even outside coding, outside tech, have also confessed to the fact that they, have dealt with and still deal with in some cases the imposter syndrome. So don't feel like you are facing this alone. One other thing is track your successes. Take notes. When people pay you compliments, when people tell you you've done good work, take a screenshot, save it somewhere, right? Have all those things like as a journal, maybe not like an actual journal, but just have somewhere that you're saving them so that you're able to refer back to those things and see how much great work you've done. Because that also helps you not just boost your morale, but it helps you see all the things you're capable of so that when you want to challenge yourself, right, you're able to do it from a standpoint of knowledge of what you can really do, right? So make sure that you're keeping those things. I recall there was a time at work where somebody sent a message to me and it was like one of the most thorough code reviewers in the office, and I was like, okay, I didn't realize that people were taking note of my code reviewing skills, but this makes me feel good. And so every time, like after that time when I'm doing code reviews, I'm actually quite careful because I feel like I have a reputation to maintain. I have a reputation to keep as the most thorough code reviewer at work. So yeah, I mean these are things that subconsciously, when you see the compliments, it might mean nothing to you, but for people to actually come out and tell you that, it should mean something and you should take it seriously. Okay, so finally talk to someone. Talk to someone if you're going through this and you feel alone. First of all, I already mentioned you're not alone, so you can just know that right now. But it's also good to talk to someone, share your feelings. Of course, talk to someone you can trust, not someone that will use that against you. Share your feelings with them and let them know how you feel. That also helps a lot because they can also share with you, some if they've dealt with that before and how they were able to overcome it as well. Yeah, let me know what you think about this video. These are all the tips I have for you on practically dealing with imposter syndrome. What do you think? Have you dealt with imposter syndrome before? How did you deal with it? Are you still dealing with it right now? I'd like to know in the comments, so please drop a comment for me in the comment section. And thank you again for watching my video. I will see you in the next one. Bye.